Well, welcome, guitarist David Meek and vocalist Olya.
Oh yeah.
I did say it right.
Yeah, you
Olya
did.
Meek of the
Yes.
Las Vegas band, Voice of Glass to the Citadel of Metal Fellowship. And in honor of Vegas, we have the Vegas Knights jersey today. So
Yeah.
absolutely,
Go
I
go
do,
go Knights.
and I am a Kraken fan, but I do love the Knights jersey, absolutely, and uh,
Beautiful.
proud to wear it right now. They're in first place. They're doing excellent. They're probably going back to the playoffs as they've done several years in a row now, and we'll be watching. Um, Now, Voice of Glass is a Las Vegas, Nevada band. They released their latest EP, Epos, on Symphonic Metal Rexius Records on January 16th of this year. And believe me, you need to hear this. And these guys were so nice. I don't know if I can point to it directly. There it is. They sent me the CD, which was absolutely fantastic.
Oh
Thank you
yeah, I see
guys
it,
for
of course.
doing that.
Yeah.
And well displayed. I like I tell everyone, if you send me a CD, you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
I like to do that. And today we're gonna be talking about their album. So, do you guys want to say hi and get started that way? And then I'm gonna ask you some questions.
So hi guys. I'm Olemik. I'm the vocalist of Voice of Glass. I feel extremely honored to be part of the show. And
Yeah. I'm
my
David, I'm the guitar player for Voice of Glass, and we've been married for 21 years now. So
yes.
Wow.
I I got that one right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just our love for music has brought us together, and that's what we feel like we're created to do, is to make music. And so
And they make some incredible music. All right, so
Thank
tell me how the band began, how you emerged. You do have some earlier albums, and what were some of your influences? Who did you listen to when you were growing up, and you said, "I gotta do this"? I mean, I love the way I heard that album, and I know I can do this, and I have to do it. That's usually what happens with musicians.
yeah, well, we're a little older, in our 40s, so we grew up in the 90s, and
Yeah.
so a lot of our influences, like me, as when I started learning to play guitar, I was influenced by a lot of the 90s.
In early 2000.
Yeah, well, yeah, but in the 90s when I was learning to play, like grunge bands, all the Seattle bands, I love Alice in Chains and Soundgarden, they're huge influences. Like, I was a huge fan um growing up with them. and
I
and
have a different background.
but she grew up in Europe, so
I'm
she has a different.
I'm from Eastern Europe. I'm from Bulgaria. My
Oh,
mother is Ukrainian, so I'm half and half, half Ukrainian, half Bulgarian. Ukrainian by mother, Bulgarian by my father. I was born and raised in Bulgaria, a small town. So my upbringing is a little different. My musical influences differ from David's. I was more familiar with European metal. Of
what kind
course,
of bit? What
everybody
kind of
starts
band?
with. Well, I started with Metallica. I remember I discovered Metallica in the 90s, and then after that I went to Megadeth, Iron Maiden, and then progressively I started getting into a heavier and heavier music with my brother, because I have a brother who is a year and 8 months older than me, and we were always very close. He was also a drummer. He was our very first drummer, actually. We co-founded the band with him. He always brought me along with his friends, and we listened to music together, cassettes, if you remember the cassettes.
Yeah,
then we well, then we upgraded to CDs, which was like, oh my gosh, this is so revolutionary. You can just press the button and find the song. But anyways, we were going to progressively into heavier bands, a lot of Scandinavian bands. We got into, believe it or not, black metal, death metal, gothic. I discovered the female gothic bands like obviously Nightwish, right? Theater of Tragedy, a huge fan. Tristania,
Yes.
also Covenant. I don't know if you remember Covenant with
Covenant.
Sarah
Yep.
Jessica, when they had her featured in one of their albums. I think the very first album, when they used to be spelled with the C instead of the K. So yeah, I was fascinated with that dualism between, you know, the softer female voice and the growling vocals. I was just completely taken. I was like, this is so
Yeah.
cool, right? So that those are my influences personally. You know, from Bruce Dickinson, right, to Liv Christine. So
Yes.
you know, I remember I used to come back home from school, and I will put on the Iron Maiden album, and I will start singing. I will take like a deodorant, right, and I'll start singing, trying to mimic, Bruce Dickinson and all his highs and everything. So that was I would say he's one of my biggest influences ever. And of course, the female vocalists from all these other bands, you know, so that it's a little different than what David experienced. And I think when he came to Bulgaria, where he met me, that's where he was introduced to those bands, you know.
Yeah, and that was like in the 2000s, and then I got into a lot of like she introduced me to European bands, and
Mm-hmm.
she even like we like and then like bands like Opeth and Catatonia. They actually just were in Vegas this past weekend, so we
Oh,
saw
wow.
them. You know, like so that kind of like doom metal, gothic,
Progressive,
progressive was
yeah,
kind of
symphonic, yeah.
yeah. We started to get into that in the 2000s and everything, and that kind of helped us to continue to develop our musical taste and direction and stuff.
And
I
then he
just,
influenced me also with American.
Yeah, I introduced her to Tool, bands like that. She
Yeah,
had never heard of Tool before that, so we always had it was our unique
kind of
relationship.
like
You know, just introducing each other to these
influences.
different bands.
being from Bulgaria, have you heard of Sevi?
Yeah,
Yes, I have.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Believe it or
She,
not, I heard of her couple of months ago. I didn't even know because I've lived in the United States since 2008. So I I don't really follow the scene as much. And my husband, David, he told me, hey, you know, there's this band and they're considering nominating them for Grammy or something like that. And he showed me a video, and I saw the video, and I was like, oh, okay, that's very cool. You know, I'm proud of Bulgarian acts and stuff, and she's my age, so I was like, oh, that's really cool.
no,
Gothic also.
they're excellent. I did an interview with them for their last album, and I'm
Okay.
looking forward. I think they're working on a new one. I can't wait because they're
Yeah.
very similar to you. They have that hard rock edge. It's not strictly metal. They do metal. She can sing with any other metal goddess out there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more of a what I remember 80s, maybe the early 90s metal, where it was
Mm-hmm.
more hard rock than, but it's excellent. And she's had several very big male vocalists included on the album. So yeah, if you get a chance, definitely check that out. Now,
Yeah, I've checked them out. Yeah.
it's
They have a
you
very good
guys.
production of the videos and everything. So, and also the sound, and her voice is very emotive. So I like that. I like, deep emotive female voices. So,
Yeah. And these guys are in the center of the world, so to speak, the entertainment world. I mean, Vegas, there's somebody big coming through there all the time. I mean,
mm-hmm.
even the B-52s, if you know who they are having they've been asked back, and uh, but they're and I think well, you two had that fantastic opening of
the Sphere.
the Sphere.
Oh yeah, the
Thank you. I
sphere.
couldn't
Yeah. Yeah.
remember the name of it. Yeah. Have you guys been to the Sphere? I would love to go there. Yeah.
No, not really. Believe it or not, we have not.
And they're talking about, which I hope it happens, a Tool Sphere show, which
Oh, that would
Oh
would
be
wow.
be
amazing. We'll be
Yeah.
the first to go. We did see
Yeah, we
two,
did see them when they
I
came.
think 2 years ago or something. They did play at the T-Mobile Arena, the one that the UFC
It
used.
was phenomenal. It's probably the greatest concert I've ever seen.
Amazing, amazing show.
They
Amazing.
are.
Yeah,
The drums, well, everything.
yeah.
They're
Oh,
almost one of the perfect,
I
perfect
could
bands.
just
That
listen
that
to the
last
drums by
album.
itself.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I'm
just
sorry.
just amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
What did you say?
Oh, I said I could just listen to a whole concert of just
Yeah,
the drums. I mean, it's just so, it
yeah,
was so phenomenal.
yeah.
But
He is.
yeah,
He's. I think the heir apparent to John Bonham. I mean, he just.
Hmm.
Uh, he's fantastic. I'm looking forward to Annika with Rush. That is going to be very interesting to see how that
Mm.
goes. I think she's going to just blow people away. One of my friends, Nick Fletcher, actually had her. He's an English progressive rock or he progressive jazz kind of musician, and he brought her in and she did the drums for him, and
Mm.
he loved it. I mean, he loved what she did on his album. And
Yeah, she's amazing.
now with Rush, I'm looking forward to it. And they're even talking, and I hope it continues. They're more than talk, but they're talking about maybe making some new songs and possibly a new album, which yeah, we're all starving, or at least the progressive metal people have been starving for a Rush album, a new Rush album. So we'll see.
That is good, but like I'm sure there will be also a lot of a lot of fans. It's Imagine two going forward with another drummer or something, and we know it's because Newport he passed away, but he was the one who wrote the songs in a way.
Yeah,
Like from what I know, he wrote the songs, and everybody else kind of followed his vision. Obviously, he was a drummer, but he also wrote the lyrics. So it's kind of amazing that he was so iconic. I would say, in my opinion, he was the face of Rush. And now you bring in somebody like that. It's kind of like what happened to also, I don't know if it's quite the
Linkin
same,
Park.
but Linkin Park.
oh yeah,
Yeah, Chester Bennington, he passed away, and now they have this woman singing, and people are not happy
Well,
about.
it's mixed because you got
So,
people.
so you're probably, it's like a 50-50. You probably represent the part of people who are very excited and talk about new material from Rush, but there's that other half of people who are not. They will be like, nobody can replace Newport, and it's
Yeah,
the same. It's
they
very
always
similar.
are.
It's a very similar argument uh, to what happened with Dream Theater. Dream Theater. They had obviously when you had Mike Portnoy leave the
yeah,
band, then
yeah,
Mike Mangini, who is my personal favorite drummer of all time, he came in. So they had this completely different phase, and I believe they won their first two Grammys with him.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then they said, okay, we want to go back to Mike Portnoy. So it's like you have this division. You have people who think that their sound actually got elevated under Mike Mangini, and you have people who obviously are very happy that Mike Portnoy is back. My opinion, Mike Mangini really brought them to new heights. But Mike Portnoy, he's kind of part of their signature sound as well. So
yeah.
it's like you're always going to have 50-50, you know what I mean? On the side of the argument. It just depends where you are on the side of the argument. But I feel like
Now,
personally, a band needs to develop.
coming back to your album, will you do a tour? I was because Vegas, it's you should be able to find somewhere where they would let you get up on stage and just rock it. There's
Well,
so many locations.
yeah. I mean, it's complicated because, like, with us, we've been using studio musicians, and we know a lot of musicians here,
I
and
bet.
it's a thing that we're planning. And we're trying to see what we would need for a live act, how it would work. But at the same time, Vegas, even though it's entertainment capital of the world, there's for original music, it's the scene isn't the same as it is in other places. A lot of for here, a lot of the casinos, a lot of the places, bars, and other places, they want cover acts because people come to Vegas they want to get drunk and they want to sing to their favorite Journey song or
David
whatever it
Davis.
is, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's
And but in contrast, Los Angeles, which is only 3 hours away, they love original music. So
oh,
there is
okay.
always that option too. Is if we could put together, you know, an actor, we could.
We can do both.
I mean, yeah, we could do. There is stuff here, but we could also try to go to LA and other places that's
And
around that.
have you heard of Edge of Paradise? Get a link up with those guys. They're from LA. Margarita Monet and Edge of Paradise. They're going on tour with Visions of Atlantis, and I think
Oh, okay.
they might even be on the Camelot tour. I can't remember for sure, but yeah, they're going over to Europe, and but she's very nice and very easy to talk with. I've had a couple interviews with her, but they are just they're shooting up high now. They really are with the big bands, and they're in LA, and it would be great to bring you guys together. So yeah, definitely look them up. Like I say, right now they're pretty busy, but you know, you can't keep that kind of pace going. That's tough. And when you do, will you play? This is a question I always ask bands because I love it, but not everyone does. Will you play the whole album through or just bits and pieces? Because you also have some uh, other albums from the past.
Yeah, I mean,
From what I hear, I don't think you're going to do any cover tunes.
no, and
Yeah.
we used to tour, like 2006, 2007. We were
In 2008.
in eight. We were nonstop. We were touring, but yeah, we never really played cover music. It was all our own music. And then now, if we were gonna play now, we're more focused on the more recent songs. So the music that we've done, probably since 2022 to the current album, you know, we'll probably be more focusing on our newer material because that we feel like that more represents where we're at as musicians right now, you know.
And we would like to, that's the other thing, we're going to play live. We want to make sure we really give the fans the ultimate experience, you know, that we have the closest sound to the tracks that they listen on the CD or like streaming as possible. Probably even utilizing our own light shows and, you know, tracks and things like that. Because I personally love it when the band goes an extra mile and doesn't just rely on whatever is in the venue. I like when they bring their own lights or their own programmed, you know, lights and sounds, whatever, because it just makes you feel like, okay, they really want to give you that experience, you know. So we want to have that approach, even if we end up playing like, because obviously when you're going to start playing live, we're going to start maybe smaller steps, right? So we, even in a small venue, we want to make sure we really create that atmosphere that people can really experience our music, not just sound wise, but visually as well. So we want to make sure that we put like a very good production when people come in to see the show. So that's why to put that together, it's not easy. You have to have the right people. You have to have people who are going to come in and deal with your sound, people who are going to come in and deal with your light effects and things like that. So that's why it's a lot more complicated to put a live show, especially if you want to put the live show you want to put. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a problem for us to go in and play now somewhere. We have musicians who have agreed to help us if we want to play a live show, but we don't want to go in and play something that's not going to sound as close to what we, you know, what we have on the, you know, in our album.
We put a lot into the production of our
You
albums,
do.
and we want to do the songs justice if we are going to play them live.
It's my heart, exactly. It breaks my heart when I see a good band and I can see that the sound guy doesn't really care.
Yeah.
And you can see through the show, the vocals are not protruding, they're not cutting through. The drum, something goes off, and I'm like, "Where's the sound guy?" And the sound guy is like smoking cigarettes somewhere. He doesn't care, drinking his beer. I'm like, "You gotta be there. Make sure the band is getting the best sounds." And it breaks my heart when I see that. And that's why that happens to a lot of venues. The bands show up, they practice, they're great, their music is great, and then the sound guy just totally kills that. And I can tell they have the talent, they have the skills, they have the music, but it's just the
But
sound is not there.
her
It's a
voice
job.
is
It's a job, and
Yeah,
it shouldn't be. I mean, it is a job,
yeah,
but I mean, you got to enjoy that job. If you don't,
yeah,
then get out of it. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
her voice
Now
is so dynamic that we would have to have a good sound person with
she
her
does. You have
to be
a
able to capture her
incredible
voice.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an issue when we went on tour in 2000, United States tour in 2007, 2008. A lot of times during the sound check, the sound guy, he would see, he will have certain settings, and he was just like, as soon as we started playing, the people come in, they absorb the sound, right? Doesn't matter how great the sound check is, everything changes when the crowd start coming in and filling the space, right? They start absorbing the sound, and it was so hard. You see a lot of people struggle because I have a lot of parts where I sing in the lower register, more like an alto, and with the bass and guitars and the drums, it just gets drowned, and they're like scrambling to raise my lows, and then I cut into a high register, and then like, oh boy, now it's just really hard. So it has to be the person who does the sound for bands like us, with female vocalists who do both like low register and high register. They need to be familiar with the bands, and they know, okay, this song here, they look at the set list and they're like, okay, yeah, this song I know. The verses are low register, the choruses are high register. But unfortunately, when you show up to a venue, you don't know the people, they don't know you. So in all fairness, the sound guy doesn't know what he's dealing with. It's like, okay, so
Well,
just
but
another band I'm going to be.
they should
You know,
listen to the music before. I would
I
hope.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I mean, I would if it was, if I was doing the sound for somebody, I'd want to at least listen to their album and kind of get a feel for that before I
yeah.
walk out there and try to, bring your music to life. Yeah, definitely. Now,
But you did
being
mention if we're going to play the whole album through the whole album, for example, with Epos is 5 songs because the 6th song is an instrumental. We will play the 5 songs, and we will also probably play in some other songs from our past, albums and EPs. So just I realized we didn't answer that question. So
no, you did. Yeah.
okay,
All right. Now, just one sort of off thing, and then we're going to jump into the album. Um, Being in Vegas, there's plenty to do, but what else? What's your favorite thing to do in Vegas, or do you want to get away from Vegas and you go somewhere else? What do you do when you have free time? I know you're both probably working full time and trying to do this music thing on
yeah,
on the side, or are you doing just music?
Yeah, well, I work full time. I do
that
home
helps.
health physical therapy. I have
Oh,
my own business. So, yeah, that takes
a
a
lot
lot
of
of time running having my own business, but then that also gives us this financial stability we didn't have when we were younger, so that
Mhm.
we could spend time because we've been living for the past few years. We were living in the studio on the weekends and stuff. We would be there, you know, just working on music and creating. So we it's been a big push the last couple of years to really get this the new music out and
them.
especially finish the epos. And when we don't, probably the thing we like to do is nature. And there,
Yeah,
you'd be surprised that in Vegas there is a lot of
Oh
nature.
yeah.
yeah, it's
We love
beautiful.
to hike, and
It's beautiful.
you know,
The desert is amazing. I mean, it's just something about the desert. Like
yeah,
every time we go somewhere else to visit, it's beautiful. We enjoy whatever we're hiking, whatever. But it's just we always want to come back to Vegas. This is our home. So to answer your question, if we're thinking about moving, no. The answer is no. We love
Oh
it
yeah,
here.
not moving. Just some people. There's so much entertainment there. They're like, I'm going to go to Europe
Yeah,
or I'm going to go somewhere else to get away from it. But
yeah.
you've got the. I still haven't seen it. I'm planning to go down to Vegas actually, watch a game, and then try to go over to the thing that's the most spectacular close to Vegas, and that's the Grand Canyon. Have you been?
Yeah.
Have you been?
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah. And we give. I mean, there's Death Valley, there's
Oh yeah.
Yellowstone, there's all kinds of not,
We have the Red
Yosemite. I'm not
Canyon.
Yellowstone, but Yosemite. There's all, yeah. There's a lot of things around here. Like you said, Grand Canyon has other.
And we have other areas that are closer to Las Vegas than the Grand Canyon. They're also very spectacular because you've got a lot of the red rocks, right?
Yeah.
This beautiful red fiery color, yellow, purple, like all kinds of really beautiful uh, sceneries. And of course, the
Have you-
desert is just iconic. And we've got
yeah.
a mountain. Believe it or not, we have like an hour away from here. We have Mount Charleston, so which gets snow sometimes. So if you feel like you want to go and experience snow, you just drive like an hour away from here, and you're in the middle of the mountain. It's beautiful, very you know like a regular mountain, maybe less green than a mountain in Washington, but
Yeah.
it's still very, very cool. So
And
that's what we like doing. Yeah.
you've got the arches in Utah, which are
Hmm.
beautiful. I
Yes,
don't
yes.
know
We've got
why I can't remember the
Zion National Park in Utah is amazing. Yeah.
but the U2 the cactus goodness. Um you guys don't know what I'm talking about. There's this beautiful huge cactus uh, this always happens, you're getting
I think
older.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Um
I did get attacked by a cactus like a
well,
year
no.
ago. I'm serious. It's called a flying cholla.
Oh,
And it's
really?
basically a cactus that has all of this. It has like these balls that have like how do you call it, thorns on it,
Lines, whatever.
and they're very easily detachable. And I was walking my dog, like the dog that you heard earlier, and
Yeah.
I was walking him on the street, and I didn't even touch it, and this thing just jumped on my arm, and
Oh
it
my
just
God.
embedded itself in my arm. And the more I was like, oh my gosh, what is this thing? It was like an alien. And the more I tried to take it out, the more it was digging itself into my skin.
Hmm.
It was almost like it was alive. And I was horrified. And my husband, he helped me. It was quite a project. He had to
I
take it out
bet.
of. It was really, I mean, it drew blood. I mean, it was really into my skin. And then I went in and I looked up the plants, the cactus, and it's called flying cholla. And basically that's what it does, it to protect itself and also to spread the seeds or whatever. If you come really close to it, even if you're 3 feet away from it and there is like the perfect conditions like wind or whatever, it flies and it just attacks you.
Wow.
I never thought in my life that I would be attacked by a
Yeah,
cactus, but
by
that
a
actually
cactus.
happened.
Yeah. The place I was thinking of was Joshua Tree. And
Oh yes, yes, that's right. That's on the way to I think California. Yeah, I know, and Joshua Tree. That's right. It's beautiful. Yeah, we actually have it in the canyon. We live up in the mountain, and we have a canyon by us. It's called Sloan Canyon, and you can see a Joshua Tree everywhere. So it's pretty beautiful.
then you're
Iconic for
you're
the desert.
you're fairly close to Coachella and that area. That's another um, distant trip we want to do. I want to do a Coachella game.
Mhm.
That's our the Kraken's minor league team. And so yeah, we're definitely coming your way. I just don't know when, but it's beautiful. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard about Vegas or uh, the Rocky Mountain West and the desert areas, there are some beautiful. America, summed it up with their song, the horse with no name. It
Yes,
really
yes,
is. It's beautiful.
yes.
There's no doubt about it. All right, let's talk about the album. This World is Broken, and it said remix, so it sounds like you did this before, but oh my God, you hear Alia's voice for the first time, and I compared you to Annie Lennox. Was that a fair
Oh,
comparison
wow.
or no?
I love Annie Lennox. She's also, I would say, when you listen to music and you love it and you sing along, that is an influence, right? So I did listen to her songs, when I was growing up as well. She was everywhere with Eurythmics, and of course then her own personal when she went solo. I love her voice. I love her voice. I love the song that she did for Lord of the Rings. Now, for all the nerds, shout out to all the nerds who love
Oh
Lord of the
yeah,
Rings like
Lord of the
me.
Rings. Yeah, it was great.
She did participate in the soundtrack for The Returning of the King,
Yep.
and I love that song. I love her voice. It's so, she's an alto though. This is the interesting thing. I, technically speaking, I did like a vocal, I did voice lessons in my 20s, intensive voice lessons, and my teacher, I used to think I'm an alto. She said, no, you're a soprano, you're a dramatic soprano, which is uh soprano, but it can hit lows, right? Like, for example, Maria Callas was a dramatic soprano, right? A lot of times people thought that she was an alto, but she was also a soprano. So that is the thing about Annie Lennox. She's just, her voice is, you can recognize her any day. And when I saw that comparison that you drew between the two of us, I was actually very flattered, because I think she's amazing and very iconic, and people need to give her even more credit for what she did for the female singers. You know, I feel like a lot of singers in the metal were influenced by her. You know,
Definitely. And then David, do you write the most of the lyrics, or you write the songs, or is it a combination? You work together and produce.
Generally, yeah, I come up with write a basic, lyrics, and then come up with guitar parts, and then I have a lot of riffs, so and she has to figure out what she can sing over, so she helps to like mold the arrangement of the song, because I have all these different ideas, and not all of them are things that she can sing. So she kind of helps form the arrangement of the song, and then takes the lyrics and that I give her, and she might have to like change some of the words or here or there, so it flows with the melody that she comes up with. But it starts with like, I come up with guitar riffs, and then she's like, oh, that's a good one, we can sing it, and then I'll give her some lyrics, and then she'll start coming up with a vocal melody, and we'll
it
start
sounds like
putting.
what Elton John did. You know, because
Oh yeah,
Elton John, he had his own lyricist, right? Who wrote the lyrics for him. I forgot his name, but they were a team.
Toppin,
And so, pardon
Ber
me.
Bernie or Barry Toppin.
Yeah. So he did not write the lyrics. He was Bernie, and then he would give him the
Bernie,
lyrics,
yeah.
and he would build the music around it. So David still writes the music. I do the vocal arrangements, but I do them uh, based on his lyrics, because I'm not. I know a lot, that's kind of a. You can do it either this way, or you can do it like, you can come up with a vocal melody first and then write lyrics that match that melody. And a lot of bands do that, but in our case, and we don't really do that, very, very, very rarely. Like, on the top of my mind, maybe like 1-2 songs we might have done that, but most of the time is I get the lyrics, I hear his riffs, and I tell him, okay, I think this probably is going to work better for a verse. Sometimes he will play 2 different songs. I was like, I think this one belongs to that other song. So I kind of help with that, but he does write the riffs and the music. And then again, like, based on his lyrics, I build a vocal, I just melody, singing his lyrics. And sometimes I'm like, do you mind if I change this word here? It does not flow with my melody. He'll be like, okay, how about this word? And I'm like, okay, yeah, that works fine. And sometimes for a song, like, for example, like Hypnosis, which we're going to talk about later, probably, I actually did write a lot of the lines as well. So it's kind of like, most of the time he's the one who writes the lyrics, but I also sometimes contribute my, lyrics, whole
All right,
lines per se.
and then there's in this song itself, in This World Is Broken, there's like I hear what sounds like choirs, and I hear it throughout the album. Is that
That's me.
you're doing the
Yes.
whole thing, different
Yes.
vocal tones?
It's
X.
just layered vocals of Ole. It's just like what 10 Oles going simultaneously at the same time.
No,
Yeah, the operatic.
it really does. It sounds like a full choir, like you've got,
Thank you.
3 or 4 women with
And
you.
that's my operatic influence, because I grew up with opera. My mom, she was a big fan of opera, a big fan of Queen, big fan of
Oh yeah.
ABBA, and big fan of opera. So I did grow up with a lot of opera since a young age. So also the bands that I listened to later when I was a teenager, like Tristania or Nightwish, they have operatic vocals. So
Yeah.
that's the
All
I've
right.
always had that taste for opera.
All right. And then there's Soteria. You have, and you're the one that plays the synthesizers and keyboards, or
It's actually Andy
Um,
Jr.
or
yeah, the bass player, Andy Belly Jr. He also did the synths, but he's also the engineer who recorded
Also
us
mixed
at
and
the.
mastered the
He mixed,
songs.
mastered, recorded, and like and so he put the bass and he put synthesizers. Like we would tell him what we were looking for and try to,
He would play
and then he
around
would.
and we'll be like, oh, that sounds great, and he would record it. And it's funny because he will press record and he will do the synths. Yeah, he's a young gentleman in his 20s, 23, 24. We've
amazing.
known him
Yeah.
since he was 18 years old. He's a
No,
fantastic.
17. He was still in high school.
He was still in high school. Yeah, we met him 2019. He's the son of Andrew Beldy, who is the owner of Electric Shop Recording. So we've worked with both of them, but recently we've been working a little bit more with Andy Jr., the son, because the father, he kind of stepped back more into like kind of like he gave the helm at, he kind of gave it to Andy Jr. And he's a young kid. He's extremely talented. It's almost like he's a family. And
Yeah.
now
Oh,
when we consider start playing live shows, he's gonna play with us. So he's amazing. So he did the scenes, he did the bass parts as well. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
all
It's
right.
a
And
young kid.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying he just kind of like grew up in the studio. Like
Yeah.
like we knew him in high school,
Hanging
and he's just
around.
been around us growing and around music, and he just loves music. He's
Mhm.
multi-talented instrumentalist, and just
Yeah.
yeah. So he's part of basically he's kind of part of Voice of Glass. He's
He's
part of our thing.
some big names, some big bands have come to Electric Shop Recording recently. They even won an Emmy award like a couple of
Oh,
years
wow.
ago. So yeah, it's amazing. Like imagine you being 20 something years old, early 20s, and working with some big legends that come into your studio and record a song. It's like,
Pretty,
whoa,
pretty nice. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then Soteria, what's the meaning? Because the lyrics are absolutely powerful. Are you willing to make that perfect sacrifice? And um, it's just the lyrics are incredible. What inspired that song? What is Soteria?
So Teria was written after This World Is Broken, and This World Is Broken was very introspective thing of like, hey, like this abuse in this world. It was we had seen a movie about child trafficking and stuff like that, which
Mm.
inspired This World Is Broken. And then when I wrote Soteria, I was like, okay, I in This World Is Broken, I brought up a question of brokenness, but is there an answer? Is there
What can we do to
a way to
fix it?
heal
Yeah.
from the brokenness in this world? And that was where I had to go deep in myself too. And for me, the only thing that I feel that can begin healing is true love, self-sacrificial love.
Yeah.
And for us, we we're Christians, and we see that love as Jesus when he died on the cross. He sacrificed himself. He gave himself completely
Yeah.
for us to try to heal our brokenness, and that's
By becoming broken.
by being broken for us.
Yeah.
And so Terry is about self-sacrificial love, and only in when you find that true self-sacrificial love, you can find a place where you can find healing in your life. And that's, I think, that's what Soteria was. It was me, trying to find what is the answer to the brokenness that's in this world, brokenness in me. I'm broken. We're all broken, and true love is the only place to start. And so I don't know. I feel like the lyrics were really powerful, and I feel like hopefully people can resonate with that. And um,
And it's
It did.
only also like it kind of touches a little bit like me personally, like the way I interpret his lyrics. Um, it kind of touches a little bit to the topic of how there are people who struggle with depression, who struggle with like
Yeah.
suicide thoughts, for example, suicidal thoughts. And, like personally, I have struggled with that in the past. And I think he as well. So this is when you need that extra help like supernatural help, right, to get out of that hole. And that is the thing that we know people who you know, obviously try to medicate that, but like that doesn't address the root.
Yeah.
And I feel like the roots of depression and, you know, people struggling with you know, suicidal thoughts is they want to feel loved. Like if you think about it, the biggest need of in a human being is to be loved.
Yeah.
Like everybody craves love. That's why people do crazy things, because of love. And I think that's what he meant, that what is greater love than giving your life, you know, sacrificing yourself for the other people. You know, that's why we hail that when somebody, you know, goes and saves somebody from a burning house, but they die in the process, but they save somebody. To us, that's a hero, right? So um,
Yeah.
that is the ultimate love, because love is something sacrificial. Love is when you're putting the other person, you know, you
First.
know, above
Yeah.
yourself.
Well,
So
it took me back. I don't know if you guys remember it, but the Last Crusade, Indiana Jones, when he has to
oh, that's my
walk out,
favorite one. I love that
when
one.
he has
Yes.
to walk the leap of faith, you know,
Yes,
you
yes. That's
got
my
to,
very favorite one.
and yeah, I think everyone eventually has to, you know, make that choice. You know, either you're
Yes,
not going to do it or you're going to do it, and that
absolutely.
really came home to me when I listened to the lyrics. Um, Now, what about henosis, which is an ancient Greek word for one?
Soteria as well.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Soteria is also an ancient Greek word, just like
Oh,
kenosis. So
okay.
there is this theme, if you see, because this EP is kind of conceptual. Kenosis is a Greek word which means unity, and soteria is a Greek word that means salvation. It was also known pre-Christianity as a goddess of deliverance, but then Christianity adopted that word and in the context of salvation through Jesus Christ. But kenosis is another Greek word that was adopted by Christianity, and it means unity with the divine. So if you want to elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, it came from Plato. He had the idea of this mystical union
Yeah.
become with the divine, and so it was from Plato's, like his philosophy about trying to be united, but also
In
it's not
a
only, but
sense,
also in the human sense, like platonic relationship, finding oneness with another human being
connection.
in connection and unity. And so like that's, yeah, henosis is, it's
It
it's
kind of goes
it's
both ways.
it's a love song, but yeah, I mean, but it's about finding that that unity, that partner that goes beyond just the physical realm. It's something
Yep.
spiritual, and it's a spiritual union between two people. And yeah, so that's where henosis came from.
It's hard to find. I have one, thank God, and yeah, I hope everyone can find that because it really
Yeah,
it changes your life and it makes
yeah.
life worth living every day. So excellent. Glad to hear that. Yeah. That's good. We need more of that.
Yes. Well, if you had noticed on that note, Generation Z, the this younger generation right now,
Mhm.
they are craving deeper relationships. Like
Yeah.
I think there was like a poll that came out, some statistics, whatever, that they are very unhappy with all the sex in like Hollywood movies. That they're tired of that. They want the real thing. They want the
Yeah.
real feelings. And I feel like it's just coming back. Like a lot of people, that younger generation is tired of all the sex and all the shallowness, you know, all
Yeah.
this like shallow, casual relationships, and they want something deep. That's why I feel like a song like that can resonate to somebody, because again, it
Sure.
goes back to needing that love that can survive long distances, it can survive loss, it can survive anything.
All
So
right. Let's talk about Phoenix because you definitely um, everyone loves that theme, rising from the flame and
yeah,
coming back after going through something horrible. And you definitely described that. Um, what would you add to sort of the story of the Phoenix through this?
Um,
It's hard to find something to add because but go ahead.
well, yeah, and then it's the whole EP. Like I feel I don't know if it's you can perceive it as conceptual, but for me, it's um, she's got it.
The charger.
Our laptop's gonna die. But
Oh,
I feel like with Epos, it's supposed to be a story because I mean the word Epos means like it's like an epic story or a song,
and that's
and
Greek too, isn't it? If I
it's
remember
Greek
correctly.
also.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so and then Phoenix, because we explored some very deep topics, Phoenix, I feel is like when the emotional arc starts becoming hopeful, that there's hope. We
It's true.
discovered loss, we went through loss and brokenness and all these things. And then the Phoenix is just, yeah, it's just something. And the chorus, which is so energetic, is just we want it to be inspiring that whatever you've gone through, you can overcome it. We can rise from the ashes, we can look up, we can and together, whatever, we can rise and we can soar through the night. Even though there might be darkness around, we can still soar, and we can have our own light shine the darkness. And for me, I think
Well, also the
that
whole legend about the phoenix is something very classic, and a lot of
Yeah.
cultures have that story. A very ancient story. I believe also Christianity also adopted it in the beginning, but then they ditched it maybe because there was, I don't know, backlash or whatever. But the whole idea of the phoenix being born from the ashes is this is basically hope. This is rebirth. This is resurrection. So that
yeah
thing, it can be resurrection in your like personal life. Like coming, overcoming depression and rising stronger and better from that, or overcoming loss. A lot of people, go through that, through loss. So I just feel like, again, the symbolism is there. And if people can get encouraged by that, we've done our job, because we are encouraged ourselves from the whole story, the whole legend of the phoenix.
Yeah, and we've had many times people write to us and said that they were going through depression, facing thoughts of suicide, whatever,
Yeah.
but that our music, they discovered it,
Oh,
and
oh,
it
good.
was able to give them, they were find hope in the music, and that helped them battle their depression and whatnot.
Yeah, we ever have
Gotta
a
love
story of
that.
this.
Yeah.
We have a story like when we went on tour in 2008. Apparently there was this, we didn't even know, but one of the people who came in to see us play and said, hey, you know what, they wrote to us a few days later, my friend, I invited my friend to come see you guys, and he reluctantly agreed, and then he was so happy. He told me that he was contemplating committing suicide that night, but he
Mhm.
decided to go to a concert anyways, and then no more. He did not want to do that ever again. So
Good.
it's amazing, like when you look at that, it's how powerful music is. That's
Yeah,
why we feel like
It really is.
music, if in the right hands, music can be uplifting, it can help people. In the wrong hands, it can, you know, just push them further more into darkness. So
Do the opposite. Yeah.
that's why we take it seriously. We don't, our lyrics and our music and everything, it comes from our heart, and from it's based on what we experience personally, our own personal journeys, but also something that we feel that people can relate to.
yeah.
And that's why, like
And
when,
yeah, music is a brotherhood. It's a fellowship. It's
Yeah.
especially
something,
the metalhead,
especially with yeah,
that's my favorite. You don't see that camaraderie anywhere else. Like the metalheads, how they help each other, how they support each other. I've been a metalhead for quite some time now, and I've never seen that. Like every time we go to concerts, like just like recently we saw Opeth and Catolia. It's just there's this like closeness and brotherhood between metalheads,
Friendship.
and I really like it. I really think it's, you don't really see that anywhere else. But then if you think about metal, of course you have a lot of bands that sing about, I don't know, guts and things like that, whatever. But a lot of times, if you think about it, metal, a lot of the lyrics, a lot of bands, especially the genre we're doing, like progressive, symphonic, gothic, the lyrics are very introspective. Something that you listen to and you look at it, you're like, wow, this is pretty deep, pretty poetic as well. So
All right. And then the Ancient of Days is kind of the closer, the closer on the album, and it is as are all the songs. It's epic. It's deep. The lyrics are very, very deep. Do you want to talk about that and talk about the theme for that song?
Yeah, well, that's just goes back to the, like, for me, it brings everything full circle. It goes back to the creation, the beginning of life, and everything has a beginning. And you know that that's part of us. We're in the image of a creator. We're spiritual beings. We're not just like anything, and that's inside of us. There's truth inside of us that if we don't deny it, we know that, hey, we are spiritual. We're meant for something more than just this physical plane of reality, but we're much deeper
Hinduism.
beings. Yeah, and it's just trying to, ancient of days is just trying to reconnect to that, you know, creator and the beginning of life, and that we're all united, we're all one, together, and that truth, I believe, is in everybody's hearts,
Yeah,
everybody's. So
should be.
Because it's
Hopefully.
a, it's a conceptual album, so the songs kind of complement each other. They follow a story, as he said, epos, which is the Greek word for a big legend story, right? A lot of times, it's actually epos was a Greek. Used to be. It was a Greek story said told in the context of music, because music was very important in the ancient times of telling a story. People would actually sing songs like a legend for something, right? For a hero or whatever. Everything was in the music form. So epos, in a way, our EP is an epos. It's a song that follows a specific theme. When you have that longing, that search, that just being lost for a moment and then finding, the answer, and finding, as they say, the light in the tunnel, right?
Well,
Hope.
and it's funny that you mentioned that about not funny, but it's coincidental that you mentioned that about singing and uh, especially Greece. I don't know if you can see them right next to you here, Epinikion. I interviewed them, and they sent
Mhm,
me a picture there too.
mhm,
Uh, their name is they're former athletes, and an epinikion was a song that athletes sung at the end of a victory or
mhm.
completing something incredible.
Yeah,
So it's just yeah, you have these things that kind of come along year to year, and this is the year of Greece.
I guess
So
so.
you have that, and then well, you can't see it, but if you haven't heard of them yet, Mistfall.
I've
Um,
heard about Miss Paul, yes.
oh my God, they just released a new album, and they're about to do a video showing some beautiful landscape of Greece.
Mhm,
So yeah, this year this year seems to be the year of Greece because there's a lot of other bands where I hear those Greek themes in
mhm.
ancient Greece, especially coming out. So yeah. All right, and then you finish with the instrumental for "The World Is Broken," and you would think it's not gonna have the same power as the lyrics and everything, but David, the unbelievable guitar work you do there. You've got cellos, you've got strings. Did you actually bring in like a smaller orchestra, or is it
It's one
orchestration?
person.
yeah,
Who
if
did?
it's
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, that we've used him before in previous EP. We had ours, and he's a cello. He plays cello. He plays violin. He's David. Name is David Warner. He's extremely talented. He's played with Adele. He's played with
Oh,
Sarah
wow.
Brightman here in Vegas, and he's also in love of goth and metal, and he loves our music. So yeah, we brought him. The reason we have the remix for This World Is Broken is we originally wanted to have him play cello and violin, but he was on tour, and so he wasn't available. So we had released a different version previously, but last as a single, but the remix version is the actual original version
Oh, okay.
of what we originally intended the song to sound like. Because we were doing the EP and we're like, oh, we can revisit the song, we can remix and remaster it. And David was back from tour, so we called him up, and he was, of course, he was delighted to try to come and put it. But yeah, he's so talented. He did cellos, he did violins, and
Yeah,
brought
and
it all together.
that's the thing about him, he's amazing because he plays the way he plays violin. He sits it on his lap, and he plays violin like how
Like
you
a
Oh,
play
cello.
cello. You know how most
oh,
people play violin
yeah,
like this?
yeah.
Well, he
On
doesn't.
your
He actually,
shoulder, yeah.
it's amazing. He's very talented, very unique. He's kind of like a genius because he does
Oh,
his
yeah.
own
He builds his
he
own
builds
instruments, everything.
instruments,
Yeah.
his own cellos. He's amazing. He's just kind of like a little bit more of a recluse, but he's amazing. He's amazing, and as he said, David, the version "This World Is Broken," this was the original version, but the one we released last year was actually the actual remix, right? That was the version
Okay.
that Andy Beldi Senior, the father of the young gentleman we've been working with, he took over the song because we kind of reached a dead end. We weren't sure what to do with the song. There was just so much going on, and he was like, maybe we can simplify it a little bit. So he took over and he simplified it, and it was just a lot more chill kind of God version. And we released that. But then we always felt like, hey, we have that other version, the original version, which is more bombastic. You've got this
Yeah.
crazy like bells and things like that. It's like we should release that as well. So that's when we decided to release the version that's actually the original version. And I always thought, like as I said already, as he said, that violins and cellos will be perfect because it's going to create the symphonic flavor. Like it's kind of like when Metallica did their symphonic albums, or you had Scorpions recorded with with symphonic orchestra. And this guy, I mean, he came in and he recorded, David Warner, he recorded everything. And we just layered the instruments, layered. And it just sounds like he was like that we play with the Las
It
Vegas
sounds like an
Philharmonic
orchestra.
Orchestra.
Yeah, no, it does. It
He's amazing.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, he's formidable. That is,
Yeah.
you're lucky to have him. Do you guys
That's fun.
collaborate? Do you collaborate with other people, not just in Vegas, but in the area?
Um, we have, but and not recently. But that's kind of how we got, because we had taken a hiatus. We had taken about 10-year off because things didn't happen. Life happens.
Yeah.
I,
No,
I
no.
went back to school. I had to, we needed, I needed to focus on building a career and other things. But then we actually met this guy at the gym when we were working out, and he turned out to be a drummer.
A
And
big fan of Rush.
he's a huge Rush fan, and he wrote lyrics, and so he wanted someone to put his lyrics to music. So
It's a bonus, his name, actually.
yeah, so we put his
Of
so
what
we did about
food.
I think 6 songs or something. We wrote the
Oh,
music for him, and then we recorded it at the studio, and that's how we met the guys at the studio. We met the Andes at Electric Shop recording.
Approach was the same. Like, so his name is Paul Tabon. He has a music project called Mud Food. I'm just plugging it in there, and also Masters of Resonance, which is a really theatrical band that performs here locally. So he's a very interesting man, kind of like a Renaissance man. He's an artist, obviously a musician, and he does all kinds of stuff. But when we met him in the gym, he found out we were musicians. We were kind of taking a break, and he said, "Hey guys, can you give me links of your music?" So we did send him music of our older stuff, and he was just in love with our music. He said, "Can you
yeah.
guys write music for me?" So he gave us the lyrics. So he gave me his lyrics. He gave us his lyrics, and David wrote the music. And again, same thing. I had to make it work with his lyrics. There were times where I asked him if I can change a few words here and there to make it flow better, and he was okay with that. And then he played the drums, and he recorded. We recorded the songs with him, and it's interesting because his idol, right, was actually Newport. So
No.
that's why he wanted to do the same thing. He's the drummer who writes lyrics, and so that was kind of his project. So that was kind of something we did outside of Voice of Glass. And of course, both me and David, we have performed in the past, just like open mics and stuff like that, acoustic stuff. and
Sure.
we'll like maybe throw in some kind of a cover version of a song we like. But when it comes down to collaboration, we just like, for example, in I think collaborating with David Warner, the cellist, the violinist, is a
Yeah.
collaboration. We're very open for that. We love playing with other musicians. As a matter of fact, Andrew Beldi, the father, senior,
Hmm.
the owner of the studio, he is on a couple of records. He sings vocals with me on a couple
Oh,
of records from the past that we recorded. One of them that comes to mind is The River, which is a very kind of rock song from our previous EP that was called Hours, that
okay.
also feature a song with David Warner. We have a video of it on our YouTube channel. But yeah, he did sing vocals for me. And there's another song we haven't released yet that he also hopped in and he did vocals for me. Um, so yeah, we like collaborating with other musicians, and in a way, when you play with studio musicians, a lot of the studio musicians, they are part of other bands and stuff. So we usually try to give them a lot of freedom. We try not to be as controlling, because believe it or not, there are people who come in and they have the drums programmed and they're like, I want you to follow every single thing I programmed.
Yeah.
What?
No,
We
no,
give them a lot of
it's our
freedom.
show. Yeah.
I know. We give them a lot of freedom. The musicians we work with, we're like, hey, we love creativity. We want you to be as creative and as free as possible. And of course, they still have to follow the music as well.
Yeah.
But there is this fine line. Like you want the musicians you are collaborating with to be fully free to express themselves, but at the same time, you want them to follow the vision of your music. So
Will you guys do, speaking of videos, because you do have quite a few, which are great. But do you think you'll do more of this album, or are you already working on the next album? Which,
She's making a video for right now. It's for the Phoenix.
oh,
I'm
great.
I'm
It's
finishing. I'm process of
it
finishing
should
the
be
video.
yeah, we should release it any week now, anytime now. So we're focusing more on promoting Epos
This album.
right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, because like I said, it's been a long road, and now we feel like we've put out some good music out there, and then
Excellent.
we need to focus on promoting it, using our resources for promotion for right now.
And usually I do the videos. I write down, the script. I shoot the videos. I edit them, post production. So it's kind of cool to be, because we've worked in the past with people for doing our videos, and that's great because it's somebody else doing the video. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're relying on this other person. They're taking the time, and it's like, oh. So and you have your own vision how the music should be, and then when you leave it in the
That's,
hands of somebody else, they have their own vision how your music video should be, and it's like it just creates a little bit of a
yeah.
clash. So that's why I'm a big fan of, if you really want to do something the way you see it in your head, just do it yourself. We've got the tools nowadays. We've got the apps. We've got
Yeah.
the AI.
AI. All
Or
these
not.
pictures are AI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got so many tools that
She
you know
she's made all of our videos on her cell phone.
Oh, wow.
No, we should say that.
No,
Oh, but
she
if
edits
it's
it on the cell phone,
quality,
is what I
you
mean.
can't tell.
Also
Yeah.
shoot
Yeah.
them with the
Yeah,
cell
she
phone.
shoots it, but she also edits everything on the
I
cell phone.
mean,
It's amazing what she can do.
people shooting. I mean, I think Lady Gaga and several other people, they release videos they were shot on a cell phone cameras,
Yeah.
because now with the technology, I mean, why bring like a whole set of stuff and
And,
rent like all
and
these
pay
cameras?
for it. Yeah.
You can do it
Yeah.
on your camera.
Yeah.
Shoots in 8K. I have a camera that shoots in 8K.
Oh,
So with
wow.
the right lighting, the right shooting, the right everything, the right editing, you can pull it off.
Can
You
you
know.
tell us a little bit about Phoenix? What the video? Where did you do it? Or it's up to you. You want to?
That is a little bit of a tricky video. That's why I'm taking. It should have been released actually on the day of when we released the EP, but I wasn't ready. I just did not feel like it was.
It
It was
was
nearly.
filmed in our room upstairs
Oh,
because
cool.
we turned a
Green.
room into a green.
Yes.
The whole room is green.
Green screen. Yeah.
Green screen.
So it is a screen. Yeah, we did use a lot of green screen in the video. It's mostly me and David. It doesn't have other musicians featured because we just could not make it work with the other musicians. For example, the drummer who recorded the drums for the Phoenix, his name is Carlos Silva.
Mhm.
He was on tour, so we could not do a band video. So we had to just do something between the two of us. So, you know, it has special effects and stuff like that, but, you know, you have to use green screen for that. But then with the green screen come challenges. You have to make it look believable that you're actually in that, the
That you're
background
there.
actually
Yeah.
follows the movement and all that. So it's just a lot of technicalities and a lot of things. Because, you know, when you do green screen stuff, I mean, things can kind of come up a little corny, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm just trying to make sure that it looks believable.
Well, good, good.
Yes.
And you think this month, or well, no, we're still in February. I keep thinking that it's already March, but that's
Yeah.
tomorrow. But you think March or April or
Oh, definitely. Maybe even next week, or like I'm very
oh,
close to
good.
being done with the video, and I'm just like adding final touches, like final camera movements, things like that, just to make it a little more to flow better. Because again, with the green screen, I mean, you can even see it sometimes in Hollywood movies. They use green screen all the time, but
Oh yeah.
so much work comes into like making sure that the movement of the object follows, you know, the background follows the movement of the object in
A
front of it.
normal, yeah, yeah.
So this is
So,
what I'm working
yeah,
on. I just want to make sure that it looks really smooth and professional. So, but yeah, I would say probably maybe even next week. You know,
excellent.
definitely by next week, maybe Friday, because Friday is usually the time that now people release music. I know you probably remember Tuesday used to be the time when people release new records.
Friday is, yeah, yeah,
Now it's
blanking up
Friday.
and
I
all
know.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe by Friday, I think probably the video will be ready and
I'll
published
be
and
I'll be
whatever.
looking for it, so that'll be good. Yeah, I'll help repost it on Facebook and that,
Thank you.
and
Appreciate that.
looking for it.
Thank
Um,
you.
and are you working on new material for a new album? I mean, I think every artist always does, but um,
I mean, I always like I I write music all the time. And
yeah,
a lot of it never gets recorded, but I mean, every time I pick up a guitar, I so. But we're not focused on recording anything right
okay,
now. Yeah, we have some unreleased stuff too that has been recorded. We might have eventually get, depending on how we feel, work on that too. So, but right now our main thing was just for now is promoting the EP.
and you have a great one. You really do. Everyone's got to get out there and at least give this a listen. And I think once you listen to it, you'll want it. It is really, it's that good. Let me ask you this. Do you guys have any other, anything else you wanted to say that I haven't covered? Tried to be very comprehensive, and we've talked about a lot of different areas of music and video. Any additional questions or not questions, but any thoughts that you wanted to share?
Well, maybe we hope that one day we'll come your way and perform live somewhere in the Washington area.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
we'd love to see it. Yeah, there's
you
a
mentioned
lot of
here.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of
go ahead.
beautiful places up here. I mean, not just beautiful, but a lot of stages. Yeah, this place, Washington loves music. I wish we could get back that Seattle scene that we used to have,
Oh,
but you can see there's Dave Matthews moved here. A lot of major artists have moved here, and it's because the music scene's so good, and there's always a venue. No matter, there's state fairs, there's uh, all the different state. Well, there's just a lot of stages here, and yeah, we'd love to have you.
Cool. Yeah, I said my sister lives up there, so
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right.
we went.
you know,
Yeah, we're not.
we were watching Beavis and Butthead, the old school Beavis and Butthead with the music, you know, and they were like
Oh,
commenting
yeah.
on songs and stuff recently, and they're talking about. I think they were watching Alice in Chains or something, and they were commenting on how, like, oh, dude, why is Seattle so cool? They make the coolest music or something.
Everything from Seattle is good or something.
Like,
Yeah,
I can agree with those guys. Yeah,
yeah.
something must be something in the woods, right? Speaking of which,
Well, and the other one is over here in back of this Queensryche.
oh, I
I
love Queensryche. We've been compared to them
absolutely,
before. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We've been compared to them before. Like when we went on tour in 2008, we had a fan that came to us and said, "Hey, you guys remind me after a concert. You guys remind me so much of Queensryche." I was like, "Oh wow, that's a huge compliment."
They are unbelievable, and
Yeah.
the lead singer still lives in Edmonds,
Oh, okay.
Washington, and he goes all over the world. And he every year he does like a local show,
Mm-hmm.
and invites as many people as he can. But yeah, and we've got Hart, we've got
Oh,
and
hard.
well, you
Yeah.
guys do too. I'm not saying Vegas doesn't have anyone, uh, but yeah, there is a lot up here, and we absolutely love every minute of everyone that's here. And
Mm-hmm.
Brandy Carlisle also, she's been doing a lot of not Emmys, but she's been getting a lot of awards and things. So yeah, there is still a music scene up here. It's not like it was like you said during the '90s. I absolutely miss that.
Yeah.
I remember when Empire came out and it just dominated the airwaves, and I'm hoping that happens again. We'll see. But anything else you guys? I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
taking
No,
over.
I think everybody's gonna eventually get tired of AI music, and then
Oh, yeah.
live music
Uh,
might be the new thing again.
yeah.
That's
I,
what we probably want to know our opinion because Kai, when we talked to Kai from the Polar, radio show, he asked what we think of AI music, and I personally, and I know I might offend some digital artists, but I love AI when it comes down to digital art.
yeah,
I use it for our album covers. I use it even in some videos because I mean, you don't have to hire a person to do your CGI effects and stuff. You just put a very specific prompt and you get exactly what's in your head. It's amazing. But when it comes down to music, I think AI has no place in music because music, in my opinion, is the greatest art form of all time. This is literally something that you do not want to touch. You do not want to turn into something artificial and robotic. This is the imperfection in a human performance is what makes music so
yeah,
you know, I don't know, alluring or. And when you have AI music, they cannot really reproduce that imperfection. I mean, they can try, but it's just too perfect and it's just too thorough. And I feel like we are wired to detect when something is uncanny,
yeah,
the uncanny valley. And I feel like people don't like being lied to. And I read something about it. There was this focus group that they were shown AI music, and they didn't know there was AI music. And when they were told that they just listened to AI music, they were not happy about it. They felt
no.
like they were duped. So I feel
Did
like
you
people.
did you guys see that girl they created and they almost gave her an Emmy and everything? Yeah,
And
yeah. It was not a real person, but it was an AI lady that sang
oh
unbelievably. I mean, and people they built a Facebook page, and they
mm,
millions of people
yeah,
signed up for it, and I guess they wanted to buy the song and everything. And yeah, it you got to be
I
careful.
think it's a phase.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's a phase, and it's not going to last for too long. People are going to get tired eventually from it because if everybody starts doing it, then it's just not going to be a novelty anymore. I think because it's a novelty right now, people are kind of like kind of fascinated by it, but eventually everything's going to get so saturated with AI music that people are just going to crave. They will crave the real thing. And
Yeah.
how are we going to do that live? How is AI going to perform
yeah.
a live show?
That's the question. Yeah, I mean, you can have screens all over the place, but you're wanting to see that person
The
play
human
that
interaction,
instrument
yes,
or sing that, grab the microphone and sing. And yeah, then you've got it beat. Real
exactly.
live people, yeah, because you can't duplicate that. Yeah. Anything else you guys wanted to say or?
I think, I mean, we're good. I mean,
We're just very happy and
we,
shocked that you invited us
yeah,
to the
it
video
was a
shoot.
pretty good, comprehensive interview, I think. We shared.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm so happy to have met you, and
Likewise.
I think I might have, I can't remember if you guys sent a message to me or if I sent it to you, but I'm glad that connection was made because I love your album and I'm looking forward to more in the future. And I'd be happy to do this again when the next one comes out. But definitely, Epos, pick it up, listen to it. Voice of Glass. These guys really love music. You can, if you can't see that, then you know you might be blind. They absolutely do, and they love making it. And give them a chance, listen to it, and I think that's all you'll need. But thank you, both of you, for coming today and spending so much time. We have spent a lot of time, but that's okay. When it's fun and interesting, you don't want it to end. But thank you,
Yeah,
David, and all you. This was incredible, and appreciate you guys being
appreciate
here.
it too. Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm not. I'm just gonna pause it for us, and then you and we can talk. Uh, anything else you guys wanted to say?
So shout out to all the prog fans out there, symphonic metal. Just keep listening to great music, and thank you for giving
Yeah.
chance to bands like us who are not necessarily the biggest
Yeah,
bands
keep
out there.
supporting original artists.
Yes.
Original smaller bands, and
Yeah.
that's what keeps us going. And we're incredibly grateful to people like you who give us a platform to share our music with the world. And we're also incredibly grateful to fans who give us a chance. Like they listen to our music and they're, you know, they give chance to bands like us. So to us, that means a lot. We're incredibly grateful.
And that's one of the things with AI, you don't have the variety. And you have that with all these independent bands and
Yes.
bands that are creating original, not, copied or
Mm-hmm.
synthesized music. This is real people, like David said, sitting back and playing the guitar and putting
Yes.
something together. And we can't let that go away. We
Yes.
absolutely need to support it. So thank you guys, really. All
Thank
Thank
right,
you
you.
much.
I'm gonna pause the recording and again, thanks again, Voice of Glass.
Thank you.